Living alone in old age is a journey that can be both liberating and challenging, but it's also one filled with opportunities for personal growth, independence, and peace. Many people share their experiences on various online platforms, and it's clear that embracing this lifestyle isn't just about survival, it's about thriving. From these shared stories, I've gathered practical, heartfelt advice for anyone looking to find joy and contentment in living alone. Number 1. Create a home that reflects you. One thing I've noticed across online discussions is how much joy people find in making their living space their own. Take, for instance, Susan, a woman in her early 70s who shared that after her children moved out and her husband passed away, she felt like her home no longer represented her. It was full of things that belonged to other people, old furniture and relics from a different time in her life. She decided to redecorate, starting small with her bedroom. She painted the walls a soft blue, bought new bed linens, and put up framed photographs from her travels. Now, every time I walk into my room, it feels like my space, she wrote. It feels comforting. It's my little sanctuary. For you, it might be as simple as rearranging your furniture, adding cozy blankets, or displaying meaningful objects that make you smile. Consider Jane, who also mentioned that she filled her kitchen with herbs in mason jars because the smell reminded her of her grandmother's house. These little touches can transform your home from a place where you live to a place where you belong. 2. Develop a routine that feeds your spirit. Creating a daily routine might seem like a small thing, but many older individuals say it's the anchor that keeps them grounded. I remember reading about a man named Harold who, after retiring, felt lost without the structure of his job. He started each day with coffee, but as days stretched on without purpose, he grew restless. Then a neighbor invited him to join her on morning walks. What started as a reluctant attempt to get out of the house turned into his favorite part of the day. Now, every morning at 7 a.m., I walk the same route, and it makes me feel connected to something bigger than myself, he shared. I notice the seasons changing, the birds coming and going. It's simple, but it gives my day a start. You might find joy in a morning routine that includes listening to your favorite music, writing in a journal, or stretching. One woman I came across said she begins each day by lighting a candle and setting an intention. It sounds small, she said, but it sets the tone for my entire day. I choose peace. I choose to make today a good one. A routine doesn't need to be rigid. It just needs to help you begin your day with a sense of purpose. 3. Cultivate a new sense of freedom. There's something incredibly liberating about living on your own terms, and that's something many older adults have come to appreciate. Take Margot, a retired nurse who shared that she finally feels free to do things she never had time for while working and raising a family. I've started taking piano lessons again, she said. Something I gave up when my kids were born. Now I play whenever I want, sometimes for hours. For some, like a man named Jim I saw on a forum, freedom meant finally indulging in his passion for cooking. I cook for me now, he said. I don't have to cater to anyone else's tastes or needs. If I want a spicy curry at 10 p.m., I make it. I experiment with flavors, and it feels so satisfying. This is your time to do what makes you happy, whether it's reading until the sun comes up, painting in the middle of the day, or even watching guilty pleasure TV shows on repeat. Living alone gives you the chance to pursue your joys without compromise. 4. Stay connected, but on your own terms. Many people express that while they value their solitude, they also recognize the importance of staying connected. But what's different in this stage of life is that you get to control how you connect. I remember reading about John, a widower in his 60s, who shared how much he values his weekly coffee with an old friend. "We don't even talk about deep things most of the time," he wrote, "but just knowing I have that one regular connection every week makes a big difference." Another woman, Lisa, talked about how she uses technology to stay connected without feeling overwhelmed. "I'm not a big social butterfly," she said, "but I have a few close friends I video call once a month. It's on my terms, and it feels like just enough." Lisa also mentioned that joining an online community for her hobby, crocheting, gave her a sense of connection without leaving home. Remember, connection doesn't have to mean being busy all the time or filling your calendar with social engagements. It's about finding a balance that works for you and staying connected in ways that feel natural and fulfilling, whether through casual chats, volunteering, or participating in community activities. 5. Find purpose in your day-to-day life. Finding purpose is something that resonates with many older adults, especially those who live alone. In one heartfelt post, a woman named Carol shared that after retiring, she struggled to feel like she had a purpose. Eventually, she started volunteering at a local library where she helps children with their reading. "It's given me a sense of being needed again," she said. "I wake up excited to go to the library. I'm making a difference, and it makes me feel like I'm still contributing." For some, purpose can come from small projects around the house. I remember reading about a man named Bill who decided to tackle a different home project each month, painting a room, fixing a leaky faucet, or planting a garden. "I'm not doing anything grand," he said, "but it gives me something to work towards." The key is finding something that makes you feel engaged and valued. It doesn't have to be monumental. It can be as simple as helping a neighbor, knitting blankets for charity, or writing letters to family members. Purpose is personal, and it can be found in the little things that make you feel alive and useful. 6. Embrace the quiet moments. Many older adults have shared how learning to appreciate solitude has brought them unexpected peace. One woman, Judy, who lives alone in a small coastal town, wrote about how much she enjoys sitting by her window each evening, watching the sun set over the water. "I used to dread the quiet," she said, "but now I cherish it. I pour myself a cup of tea, sit by the window, and just listen to the waves. It's become my favorite part of the day." Another older gentleman named Frank talked about how he embraced quiet moments by rediscovering meditation. "In my younger years, I couldn't sit still," he joked, "but now I look forward to sitting in my backyard, listening to the birds and just being." Whether it's meditation, reading, journaling, or simply sitting in stillness, embracing quiet moments can be deeply healing. It's a chance to connect with yourself, reflect on your life, and appreciate the beauty of solitude. 7. Invest in your health and well-being. Living alone can serve as a powerful motivator to take better care of yourself. One memorable story I read was from a woman named Pat, who said that after her husband passed, she felt a new sense of responsibility for her own health. She started going to water aerobics classes and joined a small group of women her age. "We've become a little tribe," she said. "It's not just about staying active, it's the social aspect too. We support each other." Others, like a man named George, shared how living alone helped him discover new ways to stay healthy. "I started cooking more for myself," he said, "because I realized I could experiment with food in ways I never did before. I lost weight, but more importantly, I feel better." Taking care of your health, whether through regular exercise, eating well, or simply staying hydrated, can help you enjoy this phase of life more fully. It's an act of self-love, ensuring you feel your best as you continue to embrace living alone. 8. Celebrate your independence. One of the most uplifting messages I've seen from older adults living alone is how proud they are of their independence. A woman named Edith shared how she threw herself a self-celebration day every year on her birthday. She'd take herself out to lunch, buy flowers, and indulge in her favorite dessert. "I used to wait for others to celebrate me," she wrote, "but now I celebrate myself." Another man, Fred, in his late 60s, talked about how much he values his independence. "There's something deeply satisfying about knowing I can take care of myself," he said. "It's not that I don't need anyone. It's just that I've proven to myself that I can stand on my own 2 feet. That's something worth celebrating." You've worked hard to get here. Living alone doesn't mean you're isolated. It means you've reached a point in life where you can make your own choices and live on your terms. Celebrate your independence in whatever way feels meaningful to you, whether it's a small ritual or a full day dedicated to self-care. 9. Rediscover hobbies or learn something new. One of the most common regrets people share in online discussions is that they didn't make enough time for their personal passions earlier in life. Now, many older adults are finding that living alone gives them the perfect opportunity to rediscover hobbies or even learn something completely new. Take Rose, for example. She shared that she picked up knitting again after nearly 40 years. "I forgot how much I loved creating things with my hands," she wrote. "It's so soothing, and now I make blankets and scarves for everyone I know." Similarly, George, a retired engineer, found new excitement in learning how to code. "I never thought I'd be doing something so technical at my age, but I joined an online course, and now I'm developing my own simple apps," he shared. "It keeps my mind sharp and gives me a goal." Living alone offers the luxury of uninterrupted time. Whether it's painting, woodworking, gardening, or taking up an instrument, this time can be your chance to rekindle old passions or pursue new interests. You're never too old to start learning or return to something you once loved. Many people say that diving into a creative pursuit can add meaning and enjoyment to each day, offering not just distraction, but deep satisfaction. 10. Practice gratitude and positive reflection. In numerous online communities, older adults often speak about how gratitude has transformed their experience of living alone. Pat, an 80-year-old woman, talked about how she started a daily gratitude journal after reading about it on a forum. Every morning, she writes down 3 things she's thankful for, no matter how small. "Some days, I'm just grateful for my cup of tea, the sunshine through my window, or that my knees don't hurt today," she said. "But those little things add up, and they remind me how much beauty there is in my life." Another person, Robert, in his late 60s, mentioned how he practices positive reflection at the end of each day. "Before bed, I sit quietly and think about one good thing that happened, even if it was a tough day," he shared. "Maybe it's a funny conversation I had with my neighbor, or just that I got through a difficult task. It helps me end the day on a good note and puts things in perspective." Gratitude doesn't erase challenges, but it helps shift your focus toward what's still good in your life. Whether it's through journaling, meditation, or simply taking a moment to appreciate the small joys around you, practicing gratitude can make living alone feel less like something to endure and more like something to savor. It's about finding peace in the present and recognizing the richness of the life you've built. Living alone in old age is an opportunity to rediscover yourself and embrace the freedom to live life on your terms. By learning from the experiences of others, you can find joy, purpose, and peace in this chapter of your life. Surround yourself with the things that bring you happiness, create routines that ground you, and celebrate the beauty of your own company. Feel free to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe if you found the video helpful. Thank you for watching. Thank you for